Hey, board gamers, BJ from Board Game Gumbo here, back in the Gumbo pot. This time with a review of a family game. It's called Red Lolly, Yellow Lolly from Blue Orange Games. Let's get right to that table and see what this is all about, and then I'll give you my thoughts on the game. All right, Blue Orange Games makes some of our favorite games of all time. Games like New York 1901 has long been a staple here, but we've also got some games recently from them. Gumball. My little 7 and 9 year old grandkids are absolutely in love with this game. The next up on, and we've got a few games from Blue Orange that we need to look at. By the way, thanks to Blue Orange, these are review copies of the games, so understand that these were sent to us. This one's called Red Lolly, Yellow Lolly. It's designed by Gary Piper, and it's called the color-flashing, tongue-twisting game that will have you laughing. Okay, so you know it's kind of a dexterity game, and you have to know that going in if you're going to have a good time. The way this thing works is very simple. There's these blue and these pink cards, right? The blue cards are the ones you're going to start out with for beginners. That's the only ones that I've played with the 7 and 9 year olds so far. And you're trying to collect 5 of these cards. How do you do that? You're going to have a stack of them like this, and you're going to have one person who holds this lollipop, and then you'll press this button here. And the button, it makes that noise, and then it starts changing colors. When you see the color and you're holding the lollipop, you have to name that particular item that's on here. So for instance, if this was going on right now, let's say blue candy and yellow baby and red lollipop and green bunny. And as long as I say that correctly and I don't trip my words or I don't make a mistake, I get to keep holding the lollipop. Now at the same time, the other players have this thing here. And this is a spinner, and they're kind of hanging around the spinner and they're spinning it. And if the spinner lands on until this, whoever's holding the lollipop, when that sound happens, that is the person who gets to keep the card that we're working on. But the spinner also comes into play the whole time this thing is the timer is going. There's only 3 symbols here. You either got spin again, so the players spin again, or the purple ones are the ones that say another card. So you basically switch cards, trying to throw off the person that holds the lollipop. Or these here, and this just says move the lollipop to the left or right. So when that happens, the players yell, "Hey, to the left," and the person with the lollipop moves to the left or to the right, depending on where the spinner lands. Keep doing that, and whoever you want to hold this lollipop as long as you can, because if you have it, when that sound goes off, you get the card that you're working on. Now, what are the differences between the two cards here? We've got the blue cards, which have the exact same 4 symbols repeated over and over. So it's the bunny, right? Green bunny or a yellow bunny or a red bunny or a blue bunny. And it does the same thing with all 4 of these symbols. The pink cards or purple are a little bit different because they throw in some additional items. They've got what looks like cookies or maybe as a moon or something, and some strawberries, and then it's got a dog. So you've got all these additional symbols, and that makes it even a little bit harder because now instead of 4 symbols changing colors, you've got, I guess, 8 symbols changing colors. That's harder to pay attention to and to remember so that you don't trip your tongue up. That's essentially the game. The rules are very simple. I taught it to the 7 and 9 year old within seconds. I mean, they kind of figured the game out just by looking at the components. Pop, I got to have this lollipop. Press this button. Start calling out these words every time we see the right color. Some of the things I did like about it, there's a lot of laugh moments, right? The kids are laughing as we're, holding onto the lollipop, and they'll say something wrong or they'll stammer, and the other child will say, "Oh, you got to give it up because if you make a mistake, you got to give it to the person to the side of you." So there's some laugh out moments when people stumble or they make a mistake. That's one of the reasons why we used to like playing the Oink game Tomato so much. It wasn't that the game was very good. It was just that it created these laugh out loud moments when people would mess up the words Tomato or whatever words would come out. Same thing here. So I gotta admit, I did enjoy that. I will tell you this, that the grandbugs like this way more than I did. They laughed the entire time. They wanted to play it over and over. They like taking turns. They both liked holding the lollipop to start. We haven't tried the purple ones yet, but they were very happy with the blue ones, and they found the blue ones very challenging for the 7 and 9 year old. One of them enjoyed doing the spinner and watching what's going to happen with it. So they did enjoy that part a lot. They actually like putting the thing together. It comes with some batteries, and you need a little jeweler's screwdriver to, a little eyeglass screwdriver to take this off. I don't know why they got a kick out of that too. So putting together the components of electronic games. We've had them for 30, 40 years, and they're just always attractive to kids, even when I was a kid. So that is some of the things that they liked about it. They liked the components and the way the game play. The things I wasn't so happy about it, crowding around the spinner and trying to figure out who's going to do this and watching it and remembering the spin sometimes because you're going to have to watch the lollipop person and make sure they're doing it correctly. And you're also trying to watch the spinner doing that. And also the 4 colors, maybe it's just my eyesight, but the green and the yellow are very, very close. Maybe they did that on purpose so that, adults like me are going to mess up at some points, but I did find that kind of frustrating that the yellow and green were so close. I'll say my final thoughts on this. The grandbugs loved it. It's a pass for me. I'm going to play a game like this. I'd frankly just rather play something like Mutton Bustin'. It's going to be loud. It's going to be boisterous. It's going to have some dexterity elements with dice rolling and all that. But I think it's going to stick around because they really like it. They keep asking to play it. So, I guess that's what's important. Our family night reviews are not about what I think about the game. It's really about what they think about the game. So while it's a pass for me, it's not something I'm ever going to say, hey, let's do this. It's on the shelf, a kid's game right behind me. And if they ask me for it, I won't turn it down because it's a game that they enjoy. Because they gave it 2 thumbs up. All right, so that's Red Lolly, Yellow Lolly from Blue Orange Games. Like I said, pass for me, only because, there's other dexterity games I'd rather play. But it's going to stay on the shelf because the grandbugs like playing it. And when they pick it out, yes, I'll play because they gave it both thumbs up. Till next time, Laissez, le bon temps rouler.